This episode was made possible by Grotto to Gravel Bikers Hideaway.
We are getting ready to head off this morning on our new Footpeg Diaries adventure. Yes, we are calling this On the Dragon's Tail. You remember Adrian from Kalahari Cruise? Adrian, why is your voice like that?
I don't know.
I know. Lots of whiskey and singing.
Louis Armstrong.
I was there. And then we have a special guest
Sure.
for this series, for this adventure. Henri du Toit. Meerkat met die kompas. He's here with us. So, gentlemen, we're going to lock and load. Fanny, chop chop. Lekker. Frans, Bob's your uncle. Fritz, muscle man. We have a Mita's Rally Star for this trip. Thank you, Mita South Africa. Rally Star back in front. ADA supplied us a camera bike. Yeah, obviously. You need a little bit of heritage. So Frans is here on the bike with the most personality. Mita's, he doesn't have Rally Star on it. He has the E10 in front. And then we slat grond, papa, and we head for the hills. Lekker, gents. Dan gaan ons lock and load. Let's do that.
In this series, we'll be exploring the lesser traveled roads in the Northern Drakensberg mountain range. But first, we have to get out of town. So we set off in a northeasterly direction towards Rust de Winter, where we'll be getting off the tarmac and onto the gravel.
We're in the Limpopo province now, moving towards Rust de Winter and then going on towards Settlers, Steinplaas, Rutan, eventually going, if you look at a map, just southeast of Polokwane, and then taking a shortcut to a classic old town, an old gold diggers town called Heinertsburg. There's only two towns in South Africa, gold digger towns, that's been relatively well preserved. The one is Pilgrim's Rest, and the one is Heinertsburg. And oddly enough, they're both on the northern part of the Drakensberg. In this area, you're going to start seeing more the change in the trees, especially. You're going to get bored of what they call the faalboom, which grows here like weeds, but it's there's one there, the faalboom. They call it the Terminalia sericea.
About an hour into the trip, we find the start of the lovely wide open gravel roads that we've plotted for most of the day. These easy-riding gravel highways takes us across a vast open plain area called the Springbok Vlakte, thus named because of the immense herds of antelope and game that roamed these expanses in a bygone era. After the Second World War, the area was designated as agricultural land, and returning soldiers were settled to farm crops for the growing population in the nearby capital city of Pretoria. But over the decades that passed, many farmers returned to game farming, making this a very scenic ride.
Yes, this is still part of the Springbok Vlakte. The Springbok Flats, it's part of that big flat plain area. But we're coming to the end of it in front.
That's right, the edge. That's right on.
Alderman, why can't I hear you speak?
I don't know.
What? What?
What, everyone?
For the first time today, I've noticed that we have passed the Sclerocardia barrier. Marula.
Hey, for an old man, you've got pressure, ne?
And we are heading into the mountains now.
From here on in, we head through tribal land and eventually into the foothills of the Northern Drakensberg, towards the town of Heinertsberg.
The sports is going to start.
Fritz immediately finds a sandy patch with his heavy logistics bike, heralding the start of a rather challenging breakout section. Henri crosses the washed-out ruts without incident. So does Adrian and Fanny. Frans, on the other hand,
my foot zit vast. Okay, I kom. You're right. Ek gaan hom uithaal. 1, 2. Staan net so goed eruit. Nee. Ja, nee, is reg. Net hier so. Ja, so. Ons is reg. Gaan nou lekker stadig weer.
a little way down the road, the front also steps out under Fritz on the heavy equipment bike.
Lekker Fritsie!
Fritz in control, jou baas!
So in true Footpeg style, we managed to, just before we should actually get to our overnight accommodation, we managed to bliksem into a hole in the ground, which is this lovely place. And we're a little stuck, 1 or 2 little offs, nothing too bad. But it's getting hard work now. It's already 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we have, I'd say, 100 k's to go still. Secret, always hydrate. I know your mum told you that right from the start. But if you're an adventure bike rider, the moment you get tired, no matter how good you are, you screw up. And you get tired easy if you don't hydrate. You get exhausted rather quickly. So fatigue sets in and you will drop your bike just because you're exhausted. Keep hydrating, always.
The second half of the breakout route turned out to be a great opportunity to test the Meters Rally Star tyres that Fanny, Fritz and myself had fitted, especially for this adventure. Traction and predictability is key in such extremely varied terrain, especially seeing that we don't have a backup vehicle for this trip. Everything we need mechanically to film, produce or just enjoy was on the bikes. The Footpeg Diaries luggage system itself was a prototype that we designed one late afternoon during a very spirited pub lunch, looking for a cheap and easy yet strong system. We'll be testing its practicality and durability in the next couple of days, doing our best to break it in. Getting closer to Heinertsberg, we happened to find the most scenic gravel roads heading into the hills. It's picturesque adventure moments like these, lit by the late afternoon sun, that stay in your memories for a very long time.
So again, in Footpeg fashion, we took the roads we shouldn't have taken, and we are behind schedule, and the sun is going to set while I'm speaking to you, and we're in the plantations in the mountains, which is always a good thing when you're heavy laden with bikes in the dark. So, plannetjie. Henri, how far do you think from here?
Heinertsberg is about how far now? You estimate?
2 days.
2 days, so then we're only 3 days away.
Oh, this is that.
We can do it.
That is it's a factual program.
That's a factual program, we can sleep over.
Factual. So, in the dark, bruh. The sun's gone. Look at it. Look at it. Sun's gone. Alright, so we came down this, and here we found Gerrit. Gerrit. Hello. How's it, guys? Yeah, we're staying over at Gerrit's place tonight. So Gerrit came all the way to the intersection here with his pony to come and welcome us. Hello Gerrit. Welkom. Dankie Gerrit.
Daar's sy.
Lekker.
The next year so long.
Next 2 days, Gerrit is going to take us to unbelievable places in the area that he has intimate knowledge of. Not that he had a girl that he there at that place, that intimate, no, not that kind of, but the other intimate.
I spend a couple of days up here.
So we can't wait for that.
Lekker.
The last 40 odd kilometers for the day will be done on tar, dropping down into Magubas Kloof and onto Oppi Oewer Guesthouse in Tzaneen, where we'll be based for the next couple of days, exploring the surrounding mountains with Gerrit as our guide. Gerrit Jr. also joins us on his big GS for the last home stretch, providing a rather scenic crossing over the Tzaneen Dam in the early evening light. Shortly after this trip, Junior formed part of the team that represented South Africa at the International GS Trophy in Albania. Adventure biking is obviously a genetic thing for this father and son team. It was already dark by the time we arrived at our destination.
Okay, so guys, we arrived here in the dark, so we don't know what it looks like here at Oppi Oewer. But I think we'll be able to see tomorrow. I hear there's a river rather close. You can hear it. We're looking forward to tomorrow because Gerrit here at Oppi Oewer, Gerrit planned something.
I'm just struggling. He's taking the ride out.
Yeah. France is riding like a king on his bike.
He's a
also,
chap.
yeah.
He's a chap,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like funny's funny, you know. So, yeah.
Funny just do what funny do.
Funny doesn't funny.
I would
doesn't.
love to see what the end is. I'll climb out of my box tomorrow.
Yes. So join us in the next episode when we head into the mountains, the reason why we're here. And we hope you're there to share it with us. Till then, subscribe, hit the notification button so you'll keep up to date with the new episodes coming in. See you next time.